Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time
with the best? When they came to me, we sat there together, and I was like, I had to say.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was.
Jay's is setting D up. Why is everyone having such a hard time with the best? When they came to me, we sat there together. And I was like, I had to say, I can't. So wide as Puffy. Why does it all come to head now? Why now? Why? Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was. If you've ever wondered why everyone around Jay-Z, whether they're his best friends, colleagues, or competitors, seems to end up in one mess or another, while Jaguar Wright and Mark Wahlberg have some answers that might shed light on the situation. According to these two, Jay-Z has a tendency to throw people under the bus, and apparently that's exactly what he's doing to Diddy right now. When you start to think about it, there's a noticeable pattern. Every single person who has been affiliated with Jay-Z or who appears to be competition has ended up involved in some of the biggest scandals, or even worse, has passed away. Meanwhile, Jay-Z somehow always manages to come out smelling like roses, with any dirt on him getting swept under the rug faster than you can imagine. Jaguar Wright has been vocal about her opinions on Jay-Z, claiming that he wants to be the sole influential figure in the music industry. And to be honest, she might not be far off the mark. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some keep getting? There are rumors floating around that he might have a hand in exposing all these celebrities' secrets, protecting his own reputation. While doing so, the big gossip is that Jay-Z has someone in his circle who's known for being a snit. And that's Desiree Perez. She's a big name in his company, but here's the juicy part. Back in her past, Desiree got caught with a massive amount of, in Miami, like 35 kilos of, from Grisla Blanco, kind of massive. Instead of taking the fall, she cut a deal with the feds, flipped, and started wearing wires to help take down some big players in the world. In the hip-hop culture, where defying authority is almost celebrated, being a snitch is seen as a huge betrayal. I mean, Desiree Perez wasn't just any informant. She played a major role in some high-stakes DEA operations. That's why there's a lot of buzz right now about Jay-Z possibly playing a bigger game behind the scenes, especially when it comes to other big players in the music industry like Diddy. People are really starting to wonder if he's the one pulling the strings. Think about it, Diddy's been a major player ages. But suddenly, all sorts of scandals and old stories are popping up out of nowhere. Old videos are resurfacing. His house gets raided. Things are looking pretty intense for him. While it's true that Diddy's past isn't spotless, and maybe he's facing some karma, the timing and severity of these events have folks speculating if someone with a lot of power is targeting him to knock his empire down a peg, and a lot of fingers are pointing at Jay-Z. You've also got Demon Wilson adding his perspective with a really interesting analogy about overseers on plantations. He said these overseers had power given by the plantation owners, and they used it to keep the slaves in check, mainly because the overseers wanted to keep their status secure. As long as the slaves were productive and making money, the overseers' positions were safe. Wilson's comparing this to the way the entertainment industry operates. As long as celebrities like Diddy are making money for the big shots, they can do pretty much anything. But the moment they stop bringing in the cash or start causing problems, it seems like those in power are ready to show them who's boss. This comparison is pretty heavy, but paints a clear picture of the kind of cutthroat tactics that might be going on behind the scenes. If these theories are true, it shows a side of the industry that's all about power plays and maintaining control, with Jay-Z potentially at the helm of some major maneuvers. No matter what they do, no matter how vile it is, the gatekeepers will make it go away. As long as you are making money for the powers that be, you can do anything short of watch somebody watching you. Somebody, the moment you stop making the money for them, you have no. And also in the same interview, Jaguar Wright drops names like D. Haven, Big Ol' D Dash and R. Kelly suggesting that Jay-Z has been trying to eliminate competition and be the last man standing in the hip-hop world. She paints a picture of Jay-Z as someone who's not just trying to stay on top, actively trying to ensure he's the only one there, even if it means pushing out those who were once his closest allies. He lined up D-Haven. He lined up Big L. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life identity, and took his love lined up on Kelly. He wants to be the one starting with DeHaven, who was super close to Jay-Z back in the day when they were just a couple of guys from the Marcy houses, getting by any way they could, even if it meant bending the law. They were thick as thieves. But as soon as things got real and DeHaven faced a federal conspiracy charge, Jay-Z was nowhere to be found. DeHaven even hinted that Jay might have been the one who snitched on him, leading to his arrest. Imagine that, going from best friends to suspects of BT trail. They didn't come to check on me, they didn't follow up with my family, he said of Jay and another friend Emery. I got word from Jay that yo, don't worry about it, I got you. DeHaven said that when he was finally able to reach Jay, the rapper said he would help with him with a legal team, but he didn't hear back from him. Other people began coping to please and leaving, but DeHaven decided to keep his mouth shut, but his head down, and take his case to trial. He said he had to use a court-appointed attorney, but in the end it may have been what saved his life. Like, they didn't come and check on me, they didn't follow up with my family as he's sitting in there in that cell. And you ain't getting no feedback. The case is still going, and you saying like, well, where's the help at then? There's Dame Dash. Everyone knows Dame and Jay-Z were partners in the music biz, building an empire together. But things got messy, real messy. Rumor has it that the rift started because of Aaliyah. Jay supposedly had a thing for her, but she ended up with Dame instead. That love triangle might have been what soured things between Jay and Dame, leading to their professional split in a lot of bad blood. Then Big L's story has got people talking about these wild theories that Jay-Z has been somehow dealing with rappers who get in his way of success. Jaguar Wright throws it back to when Jay-Z was just another rapper in New York, trying to make his mark. According to her, back then, he was hanging out with Big L, a rapper who was about to hit it big. But just as Big L was set to shine, things took a turn, and suddenly Jay-Z's career started taking off instead. Jaguar thinks that's a bit too convenient to be just a coincidence he showed up as that was with Big L. Big L was who put Jay-Z. Then you've got the whole situation with the legends Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. Remember how Jay-Z was getting pretty tight with Biggie and Diddy? Well, after Biggie and Pac tragically passed away, the rap game was pretty much up for grabs, and it turned into a bit of a power struggle. Jay-Z managed to come out looking like the next big thing. Jaguar points out that Jay-Z's rise amidst all these tragedies doesn't exactly seem like just luck. Jaguar has a valid point. How many times can someone get lucky before you start questioning if it's really just luck? Biggie died, Tupac died, there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some keep getting? Even Cassidy dropped some comments in an interview, hinting that there might be some truth to the idea that Jay-Z's career got a major boost from the untimely demises of Biggie and Tupac. Cassidy breaks it down, saying Biggie and Pac weren't just making their own hit, they were inspiring a whole bunch of others to create classics. According to him, a ton of artists making good music today probably wouldn't have done it if they hadn't heard Biggie and Pac doing their thing back in the day. He throws Jay-Z into the mix, saying we wouldn't be who he is now without the influence of Biggie and Pac. Cassidy is basically saying these guys changed the game, not just with their own catalogs, but by inspiring a whole generation of artists to step up their game. how would Jay-Z have become Jay-Z that he is if it wasn't for Nas? And I mean for Pac and Big being out, you know what I'm saying. The host throws a question at Cassidy asking if Biggie and Pac kicking the bucket kind of paved the way for Jay-Z. Cassidy agrees, saying it was a business move. Big and Pac had everyone's attention, making it a tough road for Jay-Z to claim the title of the best in the game. It would have been a real challenge if Pac had stuck around, you know what I mean. Cassidy points out that there were other super talented artists in the mix, and with Big and Pac in the scene, it was a competitive battleground. Once Big and Pac were out of the picture, it was kind of like a clear path for Jay-Z and Nas to duke it out for the top spot. Cassidy spills the beans on how the rap game shifted gears after Biggie and Pac's departure. Jay-Z didn't have to go toe-to-toe with those heavyweights anymore because Biggie and Pac were out of the picture business. And you know, I mean, Big and Pac had everybody attention, so it was hard for him to become Jay-Z, like the best, the top, like, you know, I mean, nobody could with them. Like, it would have been difficult if they was around, and that's why you see them go through what they went through, 'cause he got to fight for that position. But he didn't have to, like, fight